Hari Om. Start with the prayer. Om Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Tvameva Mata Cha Pitattvameva Tvameva Bandhusya Sakhattvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravidam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Amadeva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Gurudeva Deva. Hari Om. We are doing the Panchadashi, chapter 6 of Vidyaranya Swami, and we are defining who is Ishvara. So provided there are different definitions that have been given, starting from Antaryamin, that means he is the inner controller of everything. That's one definition, comes from the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. And there are several other definitions that we heard. One says he is nothing but Lord Vishnu, somebody says no, he is Lord Shiva, and somebody says he is Lord Ganesha, because even Lord Shiva worshipped Ganesha. And each one, depending upon their affinities and so on, have made their gods or their Ishtadevatas as the nature of the god. And so what is the basis in which one can define who is God? And that's what we are coming up now. And in the last sloka, 123, the quotes the Upanishad statement. Let's chant that sloka 123 first. Mayantu prakritim vidyan mayinantu maheshwaram asya vaya bhutaistu vyapyam sarvamidam jagatu. So let's together. Mayantu prakritim vidyan mayinantu maheshwaram asya vaya bhutaistu vyapyam sarvamidam jagatu. So what is that Ishvara? Ishvara is the one who is now defined as the one who wields the Maya. Maya is Parameshvara Shakti. The one who has the Shakti, the one who has the power of Maya is Ishvara. Krishna also says in that, Daivim Esha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratchaya Mami Vaye Prapadyante Maya Metam Tarantite. So Daivim Esha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratchaya. My Maya says Mama Maya. So who is the one who is Ishvara? The one who wields the Maya, and that's called Mayavi. And what is Maya? Here this is defined by the Sveteshwara Upanishad. It says Mayantu Prakritim Vidyan. No Maya is same as Prakriti, and Prakriti is the one that creates the whole universe. So Prakritim Purusham Chaiva Vidyunadi Ubhavapi. So from the beginning it was a beginningless Prakriti, and Purusha was there from which is created. So is there a duality? Is a Prakriti and Purusha two there? So it's not duality. Prakriti is Maya. Maya is Parameshvara Shakti. It is a Shakti, his own Shakti. So it is locust in Maya only. And what is locust? The truth is the Lord who has the power. And therefore here the definition of Ishvara is the one who has a power, Maya, which he can use to project the entire universe. And we said Maya is a universal force. And Einstein was looking for what is universal force, and he couldn't find it because he didn't study Vedanta. So what is universal force? That from which the whole universe itself came. All forces belong in that, or merge into that. That is the universal force. And what is the universal force? That uses what Lord uses to create. Oh, there's a belief system. Belief system says if one has become into many, then there is a change of state. Change of state requires a force. No, we believe only Big Bang theory. And what does Big Bang theory says? So once the matter was in the condensed form, it bangs and explodes, and that's what is Big Bang. How did it expand? Don't ask me. Why? Because we don't know. It has to expand along using the laws of expansion and laws of banging. And where did that power or the force to do that come from? And that is essentially what Scripture calls is Maya. Maya is the original force, because of which all banging theories and the gravitational force, everything else is coming from, and that is the force, and that is the what we call is a fundamental force. And I don't see the force, but I see the effects of which, from which I can deduce there must be a force, and that's what we said. And that force is called Maya. And Avyakta Namni Paramesha Shakti. So that is undefinable, but it is a Parameshwara Shakti. It is a force that is locus with Parameshwara. So who is the Parameshwara? The one who has a Maya as a Shakti. Now we use that as a definition, and that's what is the scriptural quotation here. So asya avyavaha bhutaistu. So all are modifications or expressions of Maya only, because the Prakriti itself became into many. So you call it electrical force, electromotive force, gravitational force, and whatever force you think you can think of, all forces come from fundamentally from the same force, and that is essentially the Maya. And it is expressed as Avyavaha. Avayavaha means different forms of expressions of the same Maya. And Bhutaistu Yaptam Sarvamidam Jagat. It comes from there, it's sustained by it, and it goes back into it. So it is pervading everything, and therefore everything is self-consistent in that basis. 124 now. Iti srutrānusārena ņāyo nirnaya ishvare tatā satya virodhah syāt sthavaranteshu vadinah. This we did a little bit. It says iti sruti anusārena. This is what we are following, the Shruti of statement. What is the statement? Mayanta Prakritim Vidyat, Mayant Maheshwaram. The one who wields the Maya is Maheshwara, is the Ishvara. And according to that, Shruti and Nyayam, logically, and Nirnayam has to be analysis, has to be determined. And that's how not just simple, fundamentally, this is Lord or that is Lord. And here it says, Tadha Satya Virodaha. Well, once I accept the whole universe is nothing but coming from that, and it's a modifications of Maya only, who yields that, who is the creator of the universe, then we are not having any conflict, because he himself became many. So anything within the creation is his own expression only, and therefore it is an expression of the Lord. Therefore you can worship the Lord, since he is all pervading and infinite. It includes in every form. So every form is only his expression, whether it's a Shiva form or Vishnu form or Ganpati form, or in the form of Stavaram, Jangamam, immovable trees, or anything that you think of God is valid enough for you, as long as you use that as a means for meditation, not a means for force others to you have to do the same thing what I am doing. So that becomes a problem. Problem is not that what you worship, but you want that is only God and not the other. That becomes a fanaticism. So bhakti has to involve into jnanam, and that's essentially it is tata satya virodaha syat sthavaranteshu vadinam. So it accommodates everybody. You can pray Ishvara in any form, because he is in every form. And that's what lingam. Lingam is that to put all forms together and make a chow and mixture of that, it becomes a formless form, and that is essentially a round form. Round forms includes all forms, and therefore the lingam, lingate, that which indicates something other than itself is lingam. Lingam itself means that which indicates something other than what it is, and that is essentially definition. So that's what it accommodates everybody in that definition. So essentially it also implies that there is no reason for you to fight, because the Lord is everywhere. If I understand it, He is in that form also, He is in Jesus also, He is in this form also, He is in every form is an expression, and therefore there is no contradictions here. And only contradiction comes only because of the fanatism, and then using the fanatism to force others to follow yours, and that is not a clear understanding of what Lord means. I will do 125. Maya cheyam tamo rupad, Maya cheyam tamo rupa, tapaniye tadiranat, tapaniye tadiranat, anubhutim tatra manam, anubhutim tatra manam, pratijagye srutiswayam, pratijagye srutiswayam. Together, Maya cheyam tamo rupad, tapaniye tadiranat, anubhutim tatra manam, pratijagye srutiswayam. Idam cha maya, this maya that we are discussing about is tamo rupaha, of the nature of inert entity. So what is conscious entity? Ishvara is conscious entity. Prakriti is trigunatmikam, and it is maya, and it is inert by nature. So all the matter, everything else comes under Prakriti only. So prakashena kruti yogyatvat prakritihi, that which can be undergo into modifications, special modifications. Tamo rupaha is of the nature of tamo gunam, matter, and there is no intelligence in that, so it is essentially tamas. Who says that? Tapaniye. In the Tapani Upanishad, Maya is defined as property of tamogunam. Tadiranat. It is declared in the Tapani Upanishad. Tatra, there, in that, anubhutim manam, experience is the authority in this Shruti Swayam Pratijagni. So Shruti itself declares that what is the basis for understanding that it is Maya, what is the proof for Maya, your experience itself is Maya. How can that be? Because something is that which makes impossible possible. That's what is going to be discussed here. So the Shruti itself says experience is the basis for the very proof of Maya. And Maya is what? Experience is, I see the world and different, oh, this is all due to Maya. So Maya is expression of what you see in different names and forms, and by the power of the Lord, who himself becomes in that form using his Maya Shakti. So 126 now. Jadam mohatmakam tatcha, Jadam mohatmakam tatcha, ichanubhavayati shrutihi, ichanubhavayati shrutihi, abalagopam spashtatvat, abalagopam spashtatvat, anantyam tasya anantam tasya sabhavit, anantyam tasya sabhavit. Together, Jadam mohatmakam tatcha, ichanubhavayati shrutihi, abalagopam svashtastvad, anantyam tasya sabhavit. So tat is tat Maya, Jadam is inert, cha mohatmakam, that is Jadam is Tapani Upanishad also says so. So there we have scriptural support. So tat Maya is Jadam, inert, confirming again. But in addition, mohatmakam, it has a power to delude you. Iti, in this way, Shrutihi also says so, and is also anubhuyati. It makes us realize by abala gopalam, from the child to cowherd, everybody knows this, or everybody experiences this Maya, and you say, oh, this is a Maya. Anything that I cannot explain clearly has to go to Maya, ultimately. I can explain how did, he's going to tell later, what is this? This is a chair. How did it come? What do you mean, how did it come? It's made up with what? What is matter? Of course, it's a wood. So how did the wood come into picture? Wood consists of some fibers. How did the fibers come into picture? Fibers come molecules. How did what else molecules come into picture? Atoms. Atoms comes into picture. Oh, it's assemblage of electron, proton, neutron. How do they come into picture? You can ultimately they call it God particle also. Ultimately, God has to come somewhere, and they don't know what else to say, and they are banging the material to break it, and more and more powerful and more and smaller particles you generate, and you think that is a fundamental until, of course, you can break it with a higher energy. So what is the fundamental? You can never tell according to Vedanta. What fundamental is? There is no real material there. It is only Maya only. It's only that which makes you believe it is there. When it is not there is Maya also. Definition. Yama sa Maya. That which is not there but appears to be there is Maya. So Jadamohattam, and it contributes to delusion. Delusion is where it's not there, and I take the illusion as a reality, then it's called delusion. So illusion is seeing the plurality, delusion is taking the plurality as a reality, and that is a delusion. So how can I be deluded? Simple example is that you are going after happiness. That is due to delusion. So what is wrong with that? I enjoy it, and I say, where do you get happiness in that enjoyment? If you really ask for it, then you find out that particular object doesn't give you happiness. You think it gives you happiness and you are going after it, and when you get it, you are getting happiness not because of the object, but because you are no more, your mind is now contented, and therefore it's happy. Happiness is coming from your contentment of the mind. That means mind is not any more agitated. It is calm and quiet in those your own happiness reflects. And that's what it is, Pratibimba Ananda. So it is not coming from the either pakode or in the coffee or tea or whatever you are longing for, because as long as you are longing for, you are unhappy, and when you get that hot cup of first Madras coffee in the morning, you are so happy, not because of the coffee, but because your mind is now calm and quiet and serene, and therefore it's the happiness. So this is Maya. Maya is granting that I need coffee for me to be happy. I need this for me to be happy. So going on for object wise object, one after the object, like a rat race from the morning to the evening, from day in and day out, and whole life itself you are looking for happiness. Not only this life, whole life from the beginning you are doing this, because you know you exist and you know you are conscious, but what you are looking for? The missing one. Satchid Ananda. And Ananda, you think, is outside when it's actually coming from. So that makes you believe that Ananda is outside, is Maya only. So therefore, that is delusion. Mohatmakam, this word is Mohatmakam, which anubhuyati srutihi. So this is what experience of the delusion as a real is what Scripture says, that Abala Gopalam Spashtatva, from the childhood to all the way to cowherd. So everybody, it includes here Spashtatva. It's very clear to them, that's what it is. And Anantyam, and that which is of the infinite nature, Tasya Sa Bhavid. So that's essentially about the Tasya, the Mayasya Bhavid. That's what the scripture says. It is infinite and it's not a finite quantity. And therefore Krishna says, Daivi Mesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratya. It is impossible for you to cross this. And Maya Metam Tarindite, how? So Mameva Prapadyante, only by surrendering to me you can come across this Maya, or you cross this Maya. And that is what is the definition has been given here. We'll do next sloka, 127. achidatmakatadhinam achidatmakatadhinam yasvarupam jadam hitat yasvarupam jadam hitat yatra kunti bhaved buddhihi yatra kunti bhaved buddhihi samoha iti laukikaha samoha iti laukikaha. Together. Achidatmakatadhinam yasvarupam jadam hitat yatra kunti bhaved buddhihi samoha iti laukikaha. So, Achidatmakatadhinam yat swarupam. So, the Achit Atma, the essence of every inert things is due to Maya only. So, Achidatma, Gatadhinam, Gata Adi, so pot, etc., all Yat Swarupam, they are all expressions of the Maya only. So, Tat Hi Jadam, and in the same way that also is Jadam, just like pots and pans and all that. Every object in the world is Jadam, and that comes from the Maya only. So that is essentially Achidatmakatadhinam Yat Swarupam Tat Hi Jadam. Yat, that when Buddhihi Kunti Bhavet. So, and that which trying to analyze and buddhi, intellectual analysis you are trying to do, then kunti bhavet. That means it gets confused slowly, and that is the nature of Maya. And saha moha iti laukikaha. And this is the moha, this is what, because of which you can't investigate why, how and all that, because the buddhi itself goes blank. A simple is going to tell so many examples. A simple, when I plant a seed in the mud and fertilize it and water it, and suddenly a beautiful plant comes out with a fantastic flowers and beautifying the whole nature. That's Maya. Why? That makes, after taking on mud water and a muddy environment and creating a beauty out of it. And that's the creative ability. All that is due to Maya only. That is, one who wields the Maya is Ishvara. So Ishvara Shakti is being expressed in terms of the beautiful creation also. And that's essentially the nature of the Maya itself. So that kunti bhavati, you want to intellectually, logically analyze Maya, and he's going to do a lot of slokas on that. Says that kunti bhavati means it becomes the blank. Kunti, essentially cannot do it, and it becomes limb, because no more, it cannot investigate the nature of Maya logically. So how can I explain logically how a seed and a mud and a water converted into a beautiful flower? This seed converts into this beauty, and other seed converts into a beautiful vegetable, and one vegetable is different from all, taking from the same muddy water and converting into beautifully. That, how I may say what is happening, but how I cannot say, and what makes it to do I cannot say. And that is the power of Maya. 128. Ittam laukika drushtyaitad ittam laukika drushtyaid shakutavat tavat yavat drushtyaitad sarvairapyanubhuyate yukti drushyatva nirvachyam yukti drushyatva nirvachyam nasadasidati shrutehi nasadasiditi shruti comes, and so it is Shrutehi. This is what Shruti says. So together, Ittam laukika drushtyaitad sarvairapyanubhuyate yukti drushyatva nirvachyam nasasi nada nasadasi srutehe. Etat, this inertness and delusion aspect of the Maya, ittam, in this way, laukika drushya, as you look from the people of normal people or for popular convictions, sarvairapi anubhuyate, everybody experiences this, where they get deluded by everyone is looking for happiness outside, that's due to Maya only. What gives the happiness for this person doesn't give happiness to other guy. It says that they're suffering. He goes something else which is different from what this guy is going on. If same object gives happiness, then it should give happiness to everybody. Coffee gives me morning happiness. The other fellow says coffee is a pain. I want tea only. I don't like coffee. Why? Coffee gives me unhappiness. Tea gives me happiness. But for me, coffee gives happiness, not tea. So, same coffee, same tea, it doesn't have either happiness nor unhappiness. But I have a value for it. Therefore, I get happiness with coffee, he gets happiness with tea, other fellow gets happiness with idli, dosa, all those things. And therefore, the association and attachment makes that happiness, and that is sarvam anubhuyate. Sarvair api anubhuyate. So it's an experience of everyone, and this is laukikam drushtya. So from the point of the transactional world, it is what is everyone experience. And tad sarvairapyanu yukti drushtya drushtyatva nirvachyam. So by inquiring into the logic, anirvachyam, that means it is inexplicable. And if you want to inquire logically, it says you cannot, because its nature is you cannot explain it. All I can say, I don't know in the end. You can keep on investigating and your ignorance only starts. So any investigation in the objective field, try to inquire what it is, leads you nowhere, because you are trying to become specialization and super specialization of narrower, because the more you investigate, the more it opens. That's a part of Maya also. Therefore, yusti drushya tarivad. And he says, nasadiyam sukti, he quotes, nasadiyam suktihi, Shruti, he says that is what it is. Either you can say it exists, you cannot say it doesn't exist, and all these problems come part of the Maya. So a simple example is, say, is a ring exists, is a ring different from gold? That's Maya only. So here you can directly see what Maya means. I can say it's ring. Is the ring real? Of course it's real, because I'm wearing it. But therefore it's real. Because you are wearing it, therefore it's real. Reality is defined as that which remains the same in all three periods of time alone is real. Says Trikala abhaditam satyam. So if it keep on changing, then that's not real. But if something is changing, then there has to be something which is real that appears to be changing. And that's what the gold is real compared to ring. So it is a gold in the form of a ring. Now same ring destroyed and the same gold becomes a bangle or a necklace or some other. So gold remains the same, ring names and forms. So is ring real or not? Real is only conveniently for transaction purposes. Ring is real enough, but was it really is only gold, not ring. There is no ringly substance, but it's made up of gold. And other one may be made of ring, maybe, but it's made up of iron. So what is truth is right. The cost of the ring doesn't depends upon mostly on the amount of gold it has, because the gold is more expensive compared to the cost of a goldsmith maybe. So here, depending upon what he is doing. So the yukti dushyatana nasadi means if it exists, is ring exists? Of course it is existing. Is really ring exists? No, it's not really. It's only gold only. We are calling it in that form ring. Suppose I don't know what is a ring. And if you show me ring, oh, that's gold. Why are you calling it unnecessarily ring? Oh, this is a ring. You gave some name but it's gold. Do you agree it's gold? Yes, it's gold. Then what's the problem? So why can't you call it gold? But in order to differentiate gold in the form of a ring versus gold in the form of a necklace, I had to give another name also for transactional purposes. So ring is different from necklace, but ring is gold, necklace is also gold. From the gold point there is no difference. From the ring and back or utility point there is only a temporally utility point is different from what is the fundamental point. Here we are talking about the Nasadi is, does ring exist? Yes, it exists. Does it really exist? No, it is not really ring. What exists is only gold. So this is essentially it is asat, it is a sat, or it is neither asat nor sat also if you look at it. And so that is essentially Nasadiyam Suktim, Shruti, Yukti, Anubhavam are the modes of definition for Maya. So this Nasadi's Shruti is going quoted now. Nasada asit vibhatatvat Nasada asit vibhatatvat Nasada asitcha bhadanat Nasada asitcha bhadanat Vidya drushtya srutam tucham Vidya drushtya srutam tucham Tasya nitya nivruttitaha Tasya nitya nivruttitaha. Okay, so we'll come back to that sloka now after we come. So this is coming from the Nasadeva Shruti, and he's quoting a little bit of that, and we'll go into details of what exactly involved in this. Is essentially called Maya and also Mithya also. Mithya is Sadasat Vilakshanam. It is neither you can say Sat nor you can say Asat, and that's what is essentially part of Maya is. We'll come back after that. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.